Reason 3. Jungkook's market disruption and unmatched commercial power. One of the clearest reasons behind global pop singers' dislike of Jungkook is the way he disrupts traditional commercial models in the music industry. For decades, Western pop stars, particularly those from the United States and Europe, enjoyed a relatively secure monopoly over global markets. Their singles, albums, and tours dominated charts across continents with little international competition. Jungkook's entry into the global stage shifted this balance in ways that many traditional pop singers did not anticipate. Jungkook represents a new model of stardom, where an artist can achieve overwhelming success outside the Western system while still dominating inside it. His releases have consistently charted high on US Billboard rankings, Spotify's global charts, and Apple Music platforms worldwide. Unlike many Western pop stars who rely on established industry channels such as radio play, legacy awards shows, and Hollywood press coverage, Jungkook thrives through direct-to-fan strategies and digital virality. This commercial independence not only bypasses traditional gatekeepers, but also undermines the systems that once guaranteed Western dominance in global pop. For many Western pop singers, this presents an uncomfortable reality. Their teams spend millions in promotional budgets to maintain global visibility, while Jungkook's impact often spreads organically through fan-driven networks. His association with BTS gives him an unmatched base. But even as a soloist, he has proven that his market traction is self-sustaining. For global pop singers, competing against an artist who generates such overwhelming engagement without following the traditional promotional cycle can be frustrating. Furthermore, Jungkook's collaborations with Western producers and artists have demonstrated that he is not simply an imported act appealing to niche markets. Instead, he directly competes with Western stars on their home ground, often outperforming them in metrics that once determined industry prestige, such as first-week sales, global streaming counts, and social media reach. For singers who built careers on the assumption that Western pop is the default global pop, Jungkook's presence signals a fundamental challenge. This disruption breeds resentment, as it forces these artists to fight for attention in markets they previously took for granted. In short, Jungkook's commercial power does not merely make him successful, it destabilizes existing hierarchies. Global pop singers dislike him because his dominance threatens the systems that previously guaranteed their success. Reason 2. Cultural competition and the globalization of K-pop. Another source of tension lies in the cultural dimension of Jungkook's rise. K-pop is not just music, it is a full cultural export, one that integrates fashion, choreography, visual aesthetics, and digital engagement. Jungkook, as a face of this movement, represents a broader shift in global pop culture. For Western singers accustomed to defining global trends, the growing influence of K-pop, spearheaded by Jungkook, feels like a direct challenge to their cultural dominance. Unlike many Western acts, Jungkook operates within a system where every release is a multi-dimensional event. His music videos, for example, are not mere promotional tools, but cultural milestones that attract millions of views within hours. His performances blend singing, dance, and visual artistry in ways that go beyond standard Western stagecraft. This holistic model of artistry sets new expectations among audiences, who increasingly demand more immersive and multifaceted entertainment. Global pop singers often find themselves compared unfavorably to Jungkook's execution of these elements. Whereas a Western artist may focus primarily on vocal performance or songwriting, Jungkook embodies the complete idol archetype: singer, dancer, performer, and visual icon. This comparison places Western singers under scrutiny. Fans, critics, and media outlets begin to ask why Western acts cannot replicate the level of production or artistry delivered by K-pop idols. The cultural clash also extends into issues of pride and identity. For decades, Western pop has functioned as the cultural standard, influencing music scenes around the world. Jungkook's prominence demonstrates that Korean pop culture is not only competitive, but in many ways superior in fan engagement, content strategy, and global relevance. For some Western singers, this signals a loss of cultural centrality. Instead of being the ones who dictate trends, they now compete with a non-Western figure who embodies the global standard. Additionally, language barriers, once a perceived advantage for English-speaking artists, no longer matter in the streaming era. Jungkook's Korean and English songs alike achieve international success, proving that language is no longer a limitation in global music. This erodes one of the last defenses Western pop singers had in maintaining dominance. In this context, global pop singers dislike Jungkook not only for his individual success, but for what he symbolizes: the globalization of K-pop and the decentralization of Western cultural dominance. His rise highlights the fact that Western pop stars are no longer the default icons of global youth culture, which generates discomfort and resistance. Reason 1: brand power, endorsements, and the struggle for relevance. Beyond music, Jungkook's dominance in brand endorsements creates another layer of rivalry. In today's entertainment landscape, artists are not only musicians, but also lifestyle influencers, fashion icons, and global brand ambassadors. Jungkook's role as a central figure for Calvin Klein, among other collaborations, underscores his power in merging pop stardom with global marketing. For Western pop singers, losing out on such brand partnerships is a significant blow. Luxury fashion houses, beverage companies, and tech brands have historically relied on Western stars to personify modern culture. However, in recent years, Jungkook has become one of the most in-demand figures in global advertising, often outshining Western celebrities in campaign visibility and consumer impact. What makes this situation even more challenging for global pop singers is Jungkook's unique ability to merge fan loyalty with consumer behavior. Studies have shown that K-pop fans often convert brand endorsements into measurable sales in ways rarely seen with Western celebrity campaigns. When Jungkook appears in a Calvin Klein advertisement, for example, the associated products sell out almost instantly. This direct link between fandom and commerce makes him a far more valuable partner than many Western pop singers who may generate cultural buzz but not the same measurable sales impact. In addition, Jungkook's dual role as both a global music star and a cultural style icon blurs the lines between art and commerce. For global pop singers, this creates frustration as they find themselves competing not just in music charts, but also in branding relevance. Losing a brand deal to Jungkook means losing cultural visibility and revenue streams, both of which are critical for maintaining long-term influence. This competition in branding goes beyond individual contracts. It reflects the broader reality that K-pop stars like Jungkook have redefined the role of a pop star in the 21st century. Western singers must now measure themselves not only by musical output, but also by their ability to shape fashion trends, dominate digital engagement, and create cross-industry influence. For those unable to keep up, Jungkook represents an uncomfortable benchmark of success they cannot easily surpass. Thus, the dislike global pop singers feel toward Jungkook is not purely musical, it is also economic and cultural. He takes up space in branding markets once dominated by Western stars, making their struggle for relevance even more difficult. The reasons global pop singers strongly dislike Jungkook are deeply tied to systemic changes in the music and entertainment industry. His market disruption challenges the commercial monopoly of Western artists. His cultural influence signals the globalization of K-pop at the expense of Western centrality, and his brand power redefines what it means to be a global pop star. This dislike should not necessarily be read as personal animosity, but as a reflection of larger tensions. Jungkook embodies a new model of global stardom, one that destabilizes long-standing hierarchies and forces established artists to adapt or risk irrelevance. For global pop singers, this shift is difficult to accept, as it not only diminishes their dominance, but also repositions the entire axis of global pop culture. Ultimately, Jungkook's presence reveals an important truth. The age of Western monopoly over global music and culture has ended. In its place stands a new era, where artists from outside the West can not only participate, but lead. The dislike from global pop singers, therefore, is not just about one artist, it is about a paradigm shift in global entertainment.